Hello, everyone. Welcome back to 360 on History. Please check out the website 360onhistory.com. Join our YouTube channel, subscribe to it at 360 on History, and of course, there's all our social media out there. We are discussing two different amazing news items in today's podcast that have been around for the last week or so. First off, we have the reconstruction of the face of a 75,000-year-old female Neanderthal whose flattened skull was found amidst hundreds of fragmented bone pieces at Shanidar Cave in Iraqi Kurdistan. The discovery of this Neanderthal skull took place during an extensive excavation in this remote region of Iraqi Kurdistan in 1960, led by a team of archaeologists and conservators from the University of Cambridge. The skull was found among a vast array of fragmented bone pieces, and it had been severely damaged, likely due to a rock slide or collapse, relatively shortly after the individual's death. Now, this occurred after the brain had decomposed, but before the cranium had filled with sediment. So then, over the course of tens of thousands of years, the weight of the accumulated sediment compacted the skull even further. By the time archaeologists discovered the remains, the skull had been flattened to a thickness of approximately 2 centimeters. Scientists employed a lot of amazing techniques to recreate the face of this Neanderthal female. Neanderthals are thought to have died out around 40,000 years ago, so this remarkable feat not only provides a visual representation of a long extinct hominid species, but also offers valuable insights into their evolutionary adaptations and social behaviors. By studying the facial features and cranial structures of this Neanderthal, researchers can better understand their dietary habits, environmental adaptations, and even potential cognitive abilities. The scientists used cutting edge imaging techniques and advanced 3D modeling software to carefully analyze each bone fragment, mapping its precise position and orientation within the original skull. Through meticulous attention to detail and, of course, with a deep understanding of Neanderthal anatomy, which we have now, the team was able to virtually reconstruct the complete skull layer by layer in a painstaking process that spanned a long time. This reconstruction is being showcased in a new movie on Netflix, so you can go and check it out there. And of course, you can also see the reconstructed face in a photograph on our website 360onhistory.com. Next, we move on to our other evolutionary cousin, the orangutan. In June 2022, a team of researchers observed a behavior never before seen in the animal world, in the wild at least. A Sumatran orangutan named Rakus self treated an injury using a medicinal plant in Sumatra, Indonesia. So, this orangutan was seen with a wound just under his eye, and then a few days later, he was observed picking and chewing the stems and leaves of a plant known as Akar Kuning or yellow root. He ate this plant, which is not part of its regular diet, by the way, but he was also observed chewing it up and then putting it on his face on that particular wound as a poultice. A few weeks later, his wound had healed. An analysis of the orangutan's behavior was published in the journal Scientific Reports, and you can go and check it out there. The study is known as active self-treatment of a facial wound with a biologically active plant by a male Sumatran orangutan. So, according to the scientists, it took 5 days after the treatment for the wound to close, and scientists saw no sign of infection after 1 month. Research on yellow root's chemistry has shown that the plant has antibacterial and anti-inflammatory, antifungal, antioxidant, pain-killing properties. Now, Sumatran orangutans are a critically endangered species. There are only around 14,600 left across the world. And the area where this one was found particularly is known as the Swak Balimbing Research Station. And this place is home to Earth's highest density of the creatures. But in 21 years of observing orangutans at this park, scientists have never seen an individual self heal a wound using this plant. Past research has shown that Bornean orangutans self medicate by rubbing their limbs with chewed plants, perhaps to alleviate sore muscles. And chimpanzees have been known to spread chewed insects over their wounds. Once again, you can check out the images of this orangutan with the wound and then a few weeks later with the healed scar on our website in the blog post. So check out 360onhistory.com. This particular observation has provided amazing insights into the behavior of orangutans, and no doubt more observations will be conducted to increase our knowledge. Now, these two stories have truly amazed me over the week, and I thought I would share them with you. They have given us so much understanding of Neanderthals and orangutans, and I hope that more work will be done on this. Thank you for joining me on 360 on History, and I'll see you next time.